bad. Could be better though.
Okay, so I'm in the market for my first supercar or sports car, whatever you want to call it. My first dream car as a kid, you know? So I'm in the market looking for really what I want, what checks all the boxes. Do dreams live up to reality? Maybe, maybe not. Usually 90% they don't. So the way I see it is I'm gonna test drive these cars, get a feel for it, put them through real life situations, because to be honest, this supercar or this sports car is gonna be my daily. This is what I'm gonna be driving to work, making errands in, and just going out enjoying my Saturday morning rides in. So I really have to find a car that really checks all the boxes for me. So currently, I'm testing a few cars of interest for me. So one is this Audi R8, the C8, the AMG GT, the Nissan GTR. I'm debating it, but I'm thinking the McLaren 570S. I know McLaren is kind of known for not being reliable, but they're kind of growing on me. So that might be the next one to try out too. Mercedes SL63.
Alright, so I just picked up the R8. Obviously, there's so much room in here, right? Thank God it's a soft top, because I'm pretty sure you can see the dome of my head when I'm driving. So right now I'm gonna go to the barber shop, get cleaned up a little bit, because I am a little bit disheveled. And we'll get this review started. Alright, let's do it. Trying a random spot, so hopefully this works out. I feel like I'm cheating on my barber. Woo! Just like that, I'm all cleaned up. Thanks to Luis over at Active Cuts. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. You liking it? I'm liking it. Maybe a little more headroom in here on the car too. Let's try it out.
All right, so let's head over to Torrance Beach to get a better look at this car. All right, guys, so here she is. Yeah, she's beautiful. It's the 2022 Audi R8 Spyder. It's got 562 horsepower, 408 pounds-feet of torque, and yeah, it's a gorgeous car, but it's not practical. Here in the back, we got plenty of ventilation. Keep that V10 nice and cool down. Because I tell you what, when you hit the brakes and you get that warm blanket of warm heat coming over your shoulder, it feels pretty nice. But I don't know, I feel like the Audi R8 has too many plastic pieces. There's too many vents and fake vents at that. All in all, it's a gorgeous looking car. There's just way more room and done right on the passenger side than there is on the driver's side. The angulation of the door panel, it just makes it so much tighter in the driver's side section. Maybe if they made it look like they do on the passenger side, maybe there'd be way more room for the driver. See the exhaust and the engine bay through the grills and everything. But I think if I got this car, I'd probably do a rear bumper delete. It's just so you can kind of see everything. I just think the back grille is just too plasticky, too, I don't know, it's just not my style. I feel like I would just delete all that so you can actually see the exhaust. The interior, you do have these hooks that are on the back of the car seat, but I don't know what that's for if you're hanging a suit back there, but I don't think it's really gonna work out for you. But let's freeze this right here. This is what I'm talking about. The way the cockpit is angled, yeah, I guess it's supposed to be like fighter pilot, you know, it's supposed to be like a fighter jet or F1 type, maybe, I don't know, centered to the driver. But to me, I feel like I'm stuck in a small kayak. I think kayaks have more rooms than this Audi R8 does, because your left knee just gets bashed between the steering wheel and the door. And you're just snug and like tight in this car. The ride is just uncomfortable, to be honest. I just can't fit in this. Maybe I'm just jealous and envious, but you just can't fit in this car properly. I just wish they like shaved down the door panel or something, just so they don't have that sharp angle. It kind of turns into like an A-frame. I just wish they didn't have that. And another thing is with the center console, there's no infotainment center. There's no screens. There's no anything. The only thing you're really controlling is your temperature. That's pretty much all you're controlling. Everything's located in the driver's tack, which is kind of rough for me because I'm a taller guy, and then the only thing I can see through the screen is pretty much the steering wheel. The steering wheel covers the tack, and I can't really see anything, to be honest. So you really have to angle everything and kind of, you know, adapt to it. But I'm really not loving that there's no infotainment screen in the center dash. But it kind of works out in a way because most people use their phones for their GPS and everything. So I think if you just hang your phone where the vent is, it kind of feels like you do have this false sense of a display screen. Everything that you need to do is driver focused. So, which to me, I feel like it takes away the takes away your attention from the road and then onto the screen that you're trying to focus on, which is super small and it is blocked by the steering wheel anyway. So you have to kind of change your angle of view to kind of see what you're doing and which buttons you're hitting. So it's definitely not user friendly. So I wouldn't recommend it. But then again, to a point of using the navigation, I feel like no one uses their car's navigation system. Everybody just uses their cell phones. They're just used to Waze and they're used to Google Maps. So I think you could use your phone as your infotainment center. So just hook up your phone to the vent and then use that as your Bluetooth radio or your Spotify or whatever, and just use that as your infotainment center when it comes to the center console. Kind of fills that void in a way. Body lines work. I feel like Audi has kind of kept their style from the get-go. They haven't really changed much. The grille in the front's gotten a little bigger, and maybe in the back. Having the side vents too, they've gotten a little smaller too. It does kind of follow through with the roof of the car. But I think the styling is pretty great. It's not too bad. Back end with the engine cover. I know this is the convertible and they try to make it look sleek. I just wish there was, I don't know, maybe a flow with the headrest of the driver's seat and the passenger seat that flowed to the back of the car too. Maybe some like power bulges or some power domes or something that kind of flows with the car. I feel like it just top comes down and it's just flat all the way through from the front of the windshield all the way to the back. It's just, I don't know, I just feel like it's missing some kind of detail. Like most convertibles do, just like the McLaren 570S, even the new Corvette. Like I feel like they did their styling right. It just doesn't flow with the Audi R8. It really doesn't. It just drops off and goes straight on back. It doesn't work for me for my preference. But the exhaust tips on this car is massive. I'm pretty sure you can fit a baby's head through that thing.
Alright, so the footwell's way more shallow than the AMG, so you can get in and out very smoothly.
Front hood looking so massive, you'd expect to have so much space, but surprisingly, when you open it up, you can barely fit anything in there. Space in the front is kind of lackluster. You'll barely fit a camera bag in there, maybe a lunchbox or something, but if it's for a weekend getaway, I don't think it's going to be the car for you. But surprisingly, the glove box is massive. When I opened that up, I wasn't expecting to have so much space in there. You can fit your whole arm in there if you wanted to. So I don't know what you can stick in there besides your registration, and when you're definitely gonna get pulled over in this thing, it'll probably be lost all the way to the front.
One major thing in the glove box is massive. It's super deep, like arm length. Like I'm not even touching the back yet. You can definitely shove a bunch of stuff in there. I got my gimbal in there. Got everything just hidden away back there. Random dollar. Never know when you're gonna need that. And then my shades I'll just toss up here since my cell phone doesn't get charged in that area anyway. But it's massive. I respect that. Inside the AC's blasting because it is hot as hell in here. The tach/interface is gonna take some time to get used to because there's so many things, and I think because you don't have that, you know, the center console and everything's limited to up here, that everything's just jam-packed into one screen. Yeah, it's pretty wild though. So you can adjust the bolsters on this thing too. So if you want to make it a little tighter to your hips, maybe widen it out a little bit. And the back too, so you determine what hugs you and what doesn't hug you. Pretty wild though. It's a must. They go together like peanut butter and jelly. Oof. Alright, let's put this roof up now, shall we? I'm gonna try to stay as nice and still as possible. It's gonna whack the crap out of me. I'm waiting for it. Oh no! Oh, every time. It's not meant for tall dudes. Oh, it even gets tighter. It's gonna have a neck problem at the end of this video. It's so nice to drive though. On that rear window. Put that right up there. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it just moved. Yeah, you gotta drive like this, little crank in your neck, and that little fat just bulges out of your neck right here. It's not a good look, fellas, but man, when the top's down, it feels right. I gotta get my senses together because I'm really loving this car, but the door it just like jams into the knees. It makes like an A-pillar with a steering wheel is, and I just wish it was just hollowed out a little bit. You don't need all this extra. If they're taking away the center console, make a little leg room here on the door sills here, fellas. You know, anything can get by. But yeah, I've got no joke. I got a crank in my neck. I thought it was from the bed, but I really think it's from this position. So I'm gonna get myself a massage a little later today before I head back home. The R8's a beautiful car, but I don't know if it's good. 100% I can't get this car. Sad to say, but I just can't do it. It's just not roomy, it's not comfortable for me. With the tops down, it changes my mind a little bit, but my left knee is in agony, and I think there's a little divot there. I'll show that on the clip too. Don't want to show too much skin, you know what I mean? It's YouTube, but I don't want to get demonetized. Then again, I'm not even making money anyway, so whatever. But, the car is great though. Ooh. Put that thing in park. Put the parking brake on a little rev. I don't know if you can hear it. Yeah, you can hear it. All right, let me get a coffee, and we'll get back at this drive and see how it feels.
Yep. Oh, Audi R8 permanent dent. The door, man. Next up, I'm going to take this car for a test drive, let you see what the natural feel of it is, and my honest reaction with it. And I think this video might be a little too long, so I'll make this a part 2 series. I'll send this over to my next video, which I'll be posting in a few days, depending how busy life gets. But if you like this content, you know, like, subscribe, or don't do any of that, or just leave a comment. Any opinion or comments would be great on what I should look at, lean into, test drive next, and just get a feel for it. And thanks for tuning in.